Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yes.
Um, Today, we're going to be looking at abundance,
Okay.
but we're going to be looking at it in a way you might not expect.
Oh,
So get ready, because our source material today is actually a guided meditation.
interesting.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit different, but I'm excited to dive into this
Me too.
and unpack it a little bit with you.
Okay.
What I thought was really interesting about this meditation is that it goes beyond the usual sort of manifest money,
Right.
manifest this thing, manifest that thing.
Yes.
It really takes a different approach.
Yeah, guided meditations can be deceptively simple on the
Yeah.
surface, but I
Yeah.
think when you dig into them,
Yeah,
they can hold a surprising depth.
absolutely.
And this one in particular, I think, goes way beyond just that manifest money
Yes.
approach to abundance that we see so much these days.
Yeah, and right out the gate, it starts with this really striking image
Okay.
of a chalice
Mm-hmm.
slowly filling with these drops of abundance. And it's like just these tiny little drops,
Mm-hmm.
but there's this whole river or waterfall of abundance that's available.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why are we just letting in these little drops?
It's almost as if we're afraid
Yeah.
to fully open ourselves up to receiving it all,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, and it brings up this thing of almost like contaminating it
Right.
by having too much of it, or
Yeah.
or not being, or wasting it, or
It's like we're not worthy of
Yes.
having that much, of
Yes.
having that full abundance.
yeah, and it makes you think, well, that's so counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Like it goes against everything.
Right.
We think about abundance, like why wouldn't we want as much abundance as possible?
Yeah.
And the meditation goes on to say that, overflowing abundance just returns to the source anyway.
Right.
So it's not even like we're keeping it from anyone else.
Exactly. It creates this continuous cycle.
Yeah.
So there's always more coming in.
Yeah.
There's always more to give. Yeah.
It's just this constant flow.
Yeah, and I love how it uses that affirmation too.
Oh, yeah.
It is my energy and I allow it to serve me.
Right. It's powerful
Yeah.
because it's about recognizing that abundance isn't something separate from us.
Right.
It's not something out there that we have to chase after.
Yeah.
It's part of who we are.
Yeah.
It's our energy.
Yes.
And we can tap into it anytime we choose.
So instead of, kind of like
Yeah.
restricting those little drops,
Right.
we could just open ourselves up to this whole river
Yeah.
flowing through us.
Let it flow through you.
Yeah.
Let it flow out to others.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get like a different picture of abundance already.
Yeah, me too.
So much different.
It's really about shifting that whole concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the meditation, kind of shifts gears a little bit. And it guides us through releasing these limiting beliefs, especially ones that we have around money and suffering.
Like those things we hear all the time. You have to suffer to earn money.
Right. You have to work hard.
Yeah.
Only the super smart or financially savvy people become wealthy.
Yeah. Or the really lucky.
Right. It's like we've been hypnotized
Yes.
into believing these things.
That's exactly the word I was thinking of. It's like we've been hypnotized.
Yeah. The meditation actually uses the term hypnotic directives,
Oh, wow.
which I find so intriguing
Yeah.
because it really suggests that these beliefs are implanted so deeply that they shape our reality without us even realizing it. Wow. It's powerful stuff.
So how do we break free
Right.
from these hypnotic directives?
Well, the meditation introduces this beautiful image of a secret garden
Okay.
to represent our untapped potential.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good card.
Yeah. And it's not just about financial potential. This secret garden is a powerful archetype that we find across cultures and mythologies.
Oh.
It's a symbol of unrealized possibilities, a hidden space just waiting to be cultivated.
Like a hidden door in a fairy tale
Exactly.
that leads to a magical world.
Yeah, and the meditation suggests that accessing our own secret garden
Yeah.
is about more than just wishing.
Oh, yeah.
It's about experiencing and feeling abundance in a tangible way.
So not just thinking about it,
Right.
but actually feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, being in it.
Okay.
It even uses this simple yet powerful example.
Okay.
You're in the garden,
Mm-hmm.
you pick a grape,
Yeah.
you taste it.
Mm-hmm.
It's about savoring that moment,
Yeah.
connecting with your senses,
Mhm.
and realizing that abundance is already present
Yes.
in your life.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's such a great way to make it relatable.
Yeah, it is.
It's so simple.
Right.
And then from there, the meditation goes on to, this realm of 21 crystal caves
Oh, yeah.
and a central cave.
This is where things get really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me more about this.
Well, these caves represent a source of abundance that goes beyond material possessions, this crystalline energy. It's about tapping into a universal energy, a life force that's present in many spiritual traditions.
So I have to admit, this part of the meditation kind of threw me off a little bit.
I can see that.
What does that mean in a practical sense?
Well, think of it as a metaphor.
Okay.
For the limitless potential that's available to us.
Okay.
These caves represent untapped resources, talents, relationships, anything that can enrich our lives. And the central cave symbolizes that core source of energy that we can draw from.
So it's like instead of chasing after external sources of abundance, we can tap into this internal wellspring of energy and potential.
That's a pretty radical shift in perspective.
It is a radical shift.
Yeah.
Wow.
And meditation goes on to explain that this energy isn't just sitting there waiting for us. There's this small group of humans calling for it to come to Earth.
Okay.
So it makes you wonder, who are these people?
Yeah.
And what role do they play in this flow of abundance?
That is a very thought-provoking.
It is. Yeah, it suggests that our collective intentions, our desire for a higher vibration, can actually influence the flow of energy in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do we as individuals tap into that energy?
That's a great question.
And allow it to flow through us?
Yeah. Well, the meditation's message about mindset, I think, really comes into play here.
Okay.
There's this line that really stuck with me. It says, when you're out there fooling around looking for something, the energy really can't get to you.
Fooling around?
Yeah. No, it's kind of a funny way to put it.
Yeah, what does that mean?
But I think it speaks to that constant state of striving and searching. We often get caught up in... We're so busy chasing after things. We miss the abundance that's already present.
So it's like we're looking for something.
Yes.
Outside of ourselves.
Yeah, to complete us.
When the true source of abundance is already...
within.
Within.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so instead of fooling around...
Right.
We need to cultivate a state of awareness and trust and allow that energy to flow to us.
Exactly.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I think there's definitely a theme emerging.
Yeah. And it contrasts that with, truly being in a place of trust, in a place of awareness.
Yes.
Then the energy can flow freely.
Right.
So what are we doing?
Yeah. What are the things
that are blocking that?
This in our own lives?
It's a great question to ponder.
Is it our need for control?
It could be.
Or our attachment to specific outcomes?
Or our fear of truly believing we deserve it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good one. It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think the first step is recognizing those blocks and choosing to release them.
Okay.
And that leads us to the final and perhaps most challenging question posed by the meditation. Can you allow this energy into your life without limitation?
Wow.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It is powerful.
Yeah. It's a call to surrender to trust.
Yeah.
And to truly believe in our own worthiness.
Wow. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of this meditation.
I agree.
What do you say we dive a little deeper?
Absolutely. There's so much more to uncover here. It's really striking me how this meditation kind of echoes ancient wisdom about abundance.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
This idea of tapping into a universal energy source.
Yeah.
This isn't new.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm thinking about, ancient cultures worshiping the sun as this life-giving force, or the concept of prana in yoga.
Exactly.
Yeah, this vital energy that flows through everything.
It's timeless.
It's like this meditation's tapping into something that's like timeless and universal.
And I think it does so in a way that feels accessible.
Yes.
Regardless of your background or your beliefs, whether you connect with the spiritual side or not, there's something powerful about recognizing this interconnected energy.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about those crystal caves.
Yeah.
It's such a vivid image.
It is.
What resonates with you about that metaphor?
Well, it reminds me that abundance isn't just about what we can see or touch.
Okay.
These caves hidden beneath the surface represent that unseen potential that exists within each of us and within the universe itself.
Yeah.
It's like this reminder that there's always more to discover.
Yeah.
More to tap into.
More to tap into. And it's interesting that the meditation really emphasizes that this abundance isn't limited to material wealth.
Yeah.
There's that line that says, forget about your bank account, forget about your earnings, forget about your doubts, your debts too.
It's so powerful.
That's a powerful line.
It's really an invitation to shift our perspective, saying let go of those external markers of success and tap into something deeper, more fundamental.
So it's not about denying the importance of material things, but it's about recognizing that true abundance comes from somewhere else.
Yes, from a different place altogether.
A place of inner alignment, this universal energy.
Precisely. And from that state of alignment, we can manifest our desires in a way that's in harmony with our highest good and the good of all.
But the meditation also acknowledges that we can block ourselves from experiencing this abundance even when it's readily available.
Even when it's right there.
I love that line. When you're out there fooling around looking for something, the energy really can't get to you.
It's so true.
What does fooling around look like in our lives?
I think for some it might be that constant striving, that relentless pursuit of external validation or material possessions. You know, it's like we're so focused on acquiring things that we forget to appreciate what we already have. And the abundance that's always present. Like we're looking for something outside of ourselves to complete us. When the true source is already within.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this fooling around can also manifest as self-sabotage.
Okay, how so?
Well, we might unconsciously create limitations based on past experiences. Limiting beliefs. Even fear of success.
It's that whole I don't deserve it mentality.
Exactly. We might even push abundance away because deep down we don't believe we're worthy of receiving it. It's a common obstacle. And the meditation encourages us to become aware of these patterns. It's about examining our inner dialogue, identifying those limiting beliefs, and consciously choosing to replace them with thoughts and affirmations that support our growth and expansion.
Okay, so instead of chasing after abundance, it's about creating space for it to flow in.
Exactly, by releasing those blocks and aligning ourselves with this universal energy.
And that requires a certain level of surrender.
It does.
A willingness to let go of our need to control every outcome and to trust in the unfolding of our journey. You know, it's about recognizing that the universe has a plan for us that might be even grander than anything we could imagine on our own.
That brings us back to that powerful question. Can you allow this energy into your life without limitation?
It's challenging, but also incredibly empowering.
It is.
It invites us to move beyond our self-imposed limitations. And embrace the fullness of who we are.
This meditation offers a whole new way of thinking about abundance.
It does.
It's not just about attracting material wealth. It's about aligning ourselves with a greater force.
Yes, a universal energy that can nourish and support us in countless ways.
And that alignment begins with cultivating a deep sense of gratitude for the abundance that already exists.
Absolutely.
I love that.
It's about noticing and appreciating the simple joys, the loving connections, the moments of beauty that surround us each day.
It's not about waiting for something to happen in the future. It's about choosing to experience abundance now.
Exactly. And as we cultivate that sense of gratitude and openness, we naturally become more receptive to receiving even more abundance into our lives.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It has.
It's making me want to try this guided meditation myself.
I highly recommend it.
And see where it takes me.
It's a powerful tool for shifting your perspective. And opening yourself up to new possibilities.
Before we wrap up, one key takeaway, would you say kind of encapsulates the essence of this meditation?
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that true abundance is an inside-out phenomenon. It's not something we chase or acquire, but rather something we cultivate within ourselves and allow to flow through us. It's a process of alignment, surrender, and trust.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And I think for me, it's that invitation to cultivate a deep sense of gratitude.
Yes.
For all the good that's already present in my life.
That's a beautiful practice.
Abundance isn't something we have to wait for. It's something we can choose to experience in each and every moment.
I love that.
And on that note, let's transition to our final thoughts and wrap up this deep dive into the fascinating realm of abundance. Well, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back.
It's amazing.
Yes.
You know, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty energized after that. Exploration.
It's not every day we get to unpack such a profound concept.
I know.
Using a guided meditation as our source material.
It's true.
It's really unique.
Yeah, and I think that what's so fascinating to me is that Abundance isn't just about, attracting more stuff.
Right.
It's really about...
A mindset.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating a mindset of openness and receptivity and gratitude.
Yes. And I think, it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
But we live in a world that's telling us you've got to strive. You've got to compete.
You've got to have more.
Yes. You've got to do more to be happy.
You've got to achieve more.
Yes.
To be successful.
So how do we resist?
It's a challenge.
That pull.
It is. We're often conditioned to believe that our worthiness is tied to our achievements.
Yes.
And our possessions.
But this meditation is inviting us to challenge those beliefs.
Yes.
And to reconnect with that deeper source that comes from within.
It's about remembering that we are part of something much larger than ourselves.
Yeah.
And that we can tap into a limitless source of abundance.
Yeah, and it all starts with shifting our mindset.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Our thoughts and beliefs are incredibly powerful. And when we choose to focus on abundance, we open ourselves up to receiving it.
In all its forms.
In all its forms.
So what does that look like, practically speaking?
Well, I think a great starting point is simply becoming more aware of our thoughts.
Oh, okay.
Notice when we're engaging in negative self-talk or focusing on scarcity.
Yeah.
And when we catch ourselves doing that, we can gently redirect our attention to something more positive and uplifting.
Like training our minds to look for evidence of abundance in our everyday lives.
Exactly like those small moments of joy.
Yeah.
Gratitude, connection that we might otherwise overlook.
And it's not always financial.
Exactly.
Right.
Abundance can show up.
It can be love. It can be joy.
In so many ways.
Creativity, health.
It's about recognizing the richness and fullness of life.
Yes.
In all its dimensions.
Abundance is not one size fits all.
No, it's unique to each individual.
As we're wrapping up this deep dive, what's resonating most with you?
Well, I think that reminder that true abundance is an inside-out phenomenon.
Yes.
Really stands out for me. It's not something we chase or acquire, but rather something we cultivate.
Within ourselves.
Yes, within ourselves and allow to flow through us.
It's a process of alignment, surrender, trust.
Beautifully said.
And I think for me, it's that invitation to cultivate that deep sense of gratitude for all the good that's already here.
It's a beautiful practice.
Abundance is not something we wait for.
It's available right now.
It's something we experience in each and every moment.
I love that.
And we encourage all of you listening to explore these concepts further. Maybe even give that guided meditation a try.
See what comes up for you.
See what insights emerge for you.
Yes.
Ask yourself, what one small step can I take today to open myself to receiving abundance more fully?
Such a great question.
It might be a shift in perspective.
It could be.
An act of kindness or just a moment of appreciation.
Yeah, for the beauty that surrounds you.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yes, thank you.
Until next time, may you be open to receiving all the abundance that life has to offer.
Beautiful.